Hey folks, this is the Rock and Roll King, Robert R. McFarland, talking to you, and we're in the middle of doing Stories Behind the Songs, SBTS, and we're actually on episode number 12 right now. We just made it over to the Rock CD, or the Roll CD, excuse me. Excuse me, my new album was just released. It's a double CD. One CD is called Rock, the other is called Roll. There's 11 tracks on each. So we just got done with the Rock CD. We talked about those songs. So we're on the Roll CD. And the song we're going to be talking about today is Rock and Roll Machine, which in fact, as I told you in a previous video, is this guitar. This is my favorite electric guitar, and I called it the Rock and Roll Machine. So what had happened, and Downtown is on my lap here. You can probably hear him purring. What had happened was the original CD started out as 10 to 12 songs. Then it went to 15 songs. Or maybe it was 16. It might have been 16 songs. Well, I was working with Jack Campitelli down in Baltimore, Ohio. I said, Jack, I got to add these 5 songs. And this is one of the songs that I did add. Excuse me. I believe I might have had the riff written before that. But I think excuse me, I got a little cough. But I think I wrote the lyrics for this album, for the song. Again, I'd have to double check the tapes and stuff because I got everything just basically on tapes, the date-wise. But, you know, we're talking about 2014. So, again, this was 5 songs that I had to add, which made it 21. So I must have had 16. 5 songs is 21, so I had 21 songs. And I told Jack, it's probably going to be a double CD now because I can't fit 21 songs on a disc because most of my songs are 4 and 5 minutes long. You can only fit 80 minutes on a disc. But my original thought was to have at least 60 minutes of music on the disc. So got those extra 5 songs. So anyways, came up with the lyrics, and I wanted to write, and I wrote this song lyrics-wise just for this album. So, came up with the first verse. Well, it's 1 for me, 2 for you, 3 for everybody else if they want to get through. You know, it's like 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, everybody go, kind of thing. To see my rock and roll machine. Okay? Verse 2, I tied it to another song called Well, I'm a Six-String Lover, which is song number 6 on the Rock CD. And it's a natural fact. I play rock and roll, which is the title of the album. Now you got to deal with that. I got my rock and roll, got my rock and roll machine. So, come up to the bridge, what I call a bridge. Some people might call it a pre-chorus or whatever. But it's, well, step inside if you want to take a ride with the Rock and Roll King, which is me. And I have a song that ends the Roll CD, and his Rock and Roll Machine, which is the guitar. Okay, so then we have a solo. Then we do verse 3, and again, I don't have a band. This was all done in the studio, but I was like, well, if we do have a band, most bands headliners are going to start right around 9:30, 9:45, and they usually play close to 2 hours, which is about midnight or so. So I said, well, the band hits the stage about 9:45. Once we started rocking, we started rolling. And then I got my rock and roll machine, I got my rock and roll machine. So those are the lyrics about the song. So again, pretty straightforward. And Downtown is, for some reason, just wanting to bite my hand tonight. I don't know, he's up here purring. Buddy, we're trying to shoot a video here. Hold tight for a little bit. And he's just a purring machine tonight. So anyways, that's the song. So in the studio, per se, I think this is one of the songs where Jack and Sammy, it's kind of got like an AC/DC feel to it. So they had they called it a black and back snare. If I can remember right, it was a black snare. Might even had a black top on it, but it had a distinctive sound. They put it on this song and a couple other songs. I can't remember, 2 or 3 other songs. So they changed the drums just for this song, which is a very interesting fact. Just like I change guitars. Me as a guitarist, I just thought drums would just be drums, but they actually changed drums up a couple times. Forgot to mention on Peter Pan Peanut Butter Jam, I'll try to remember it on Warring, they actually called it the Zepp kit, and they had this oversized kick drum that they brought out for that song, for those 2 songs, Peter Pan Peanut Butter Jam and Warring. So again, they was changing drums and different mic positions on each song to fit what they wanted to hear. Again, I'm not a drummer. I don't know anything about recording, so Jack and Sammy was doing all that. So we had that done. Mikey came in with the bass. I had the rhythm guitars. Now again, I was originally going to do the solos, and I actually have a scratch solo that Sammy got to listen to and Mikey got to listen to play with. And I actually did the rough vocals, but again, I'm not a vocalist, so we got Brad to do the vocals. So to come to do the guitar solo, I was going to do the guitar solo, but we brought Marty Hayes in, and I said there's about 10 or 11 songs. If we can get them all done, do as many as you can, I'll do the rest. But we was actually able to get those 10 or 11 done. So Marty played the solo on this song. Again, it's almost kind of sacrilegious per se, because the album cover is the Rock and Roll Machine. Then I'm playing rhythm guitar on the song called Rock and Roll Machine. Or the album cover, I forget what I just said, but the album's Rock and Roll, but there's a Rock and Roll Machine on the cover. But I wanted to play guitar on the Rock and Roll Machine lead, so, you know, it would be that. So, but I gave it up to Marty, and he did a fantastic job. But again, the Rock and Roll Machine was still on that, and I think it came off really, really well. So I can't complain about how it came off. But that one was kind of short and sweet. I don't know what else to add to that. But that one was a pretty much, you know, everybody who recorded their parts on that one, that was a pretty much straightforward song. Oh, I do want to add, right before we mastered the song, Joe goes, how about we put some group chants on here? And I had my buddy Don Catlett, Mike Mapes, myself, and Joe Veers. We did group chants. So on the verses, right after you hear like 3 for Everybody, if you want to get through, I got my rock and roll, we go, yeah, I got my rock and roll machine. I got my rock and roll, yeah. So we're all chanting, yeah. Then on the bridge, we're all chanting, with the rock and roll king and his rock and roll machine. So it was just 4 of us, but Joe stacked them, I think 3 or 4 times, so it sounds like a crowd, you know, chanting that, which was a cool effect. I love that every time I hear it. But that is the Rock and Roll Machine. Again, stay tuned for the next episode. I'm probably going to record it tonight, try to get them posted up there. But this has been SBTS, Stories Behind the Songs. This was episode number 12, The Rock and Roll Machine. I'm the Rock and Roll King, Robert R. McFarlane. Just saying, music's the soundtrack to life. Have some every day. If you got a cat, make sure he's on your lap. He just jumped off. But it's all for one for all, and all for rock and roll. To the next episode, we'll see you then.